Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com. Today I want to talk to you about how God is not the universe. The universe is not God. There is this conception you hear from people talking about the law of attraction where they get into this flaw of worshiping the creation, not the creator. And so they're so focused on the law of attraction, these various laws that we observe, that they ignore the creator of those laws. And they actually ascribe deity to the creation while ignoring the creator, mainly because the creator requires more of them than the mediocrity, the lax morals and ethics that they like to hold to. And that's not always the case. Sometimes people are just confused. They conflate the two, God and universe, together as being the same thing, and they're not. And there's not universes either. Universe is an all-encompassing term that encompasses all of space and time. Everything that exists that is contained within that term universe, as far as things that are created. That universe is within God, as the scripture says in Acts chapter 17, verse 28, "For in him we live and move and have our being." That is an ancient concept, that within God is all of creation. That's not saying that all of creation is God, but within God is all of creation. It's a product of him who is the source. The universe is a product of God. It is not God. It is not the source of all things. It does run under certain rules and regulations and laws, as we call them, that are blind to righteousness or unrighteousness. What that means is they have no respect of persons. The law of gravity works for you whether you're righteous or unrighteous. The law of attraction works for you whether you're righteous or unrighteous. It works against you whether you're righteous or unrighteous. So many people who are otherwise doing right things, living for God, attract all kinds of negative and evil things to themselves via the law of attraction, because that's what they expect. That's what they believed for. They've gotten their eyes off of the goodness and blessing and grace of God onto negativity, onto the world, onto fears and panic and whatever people are talking about today that is the new thing to be afraid of, the new thing to be anxious about, the new thing to worry and panic about. And so you can only reap more of those things that you're vibrating on. That level, you are attracting more of those fearful things into your life. But we must understand that when we talk about the universe, there is laws and things that we sometimes ascribe to God because he is the creator, the source of all things, but laws that work irregardless of your standing with God. And even the scripture is clear about this, that God's no respecter of persons. This is why there are unrighteous men, mostly unrighteous men, who have tremendous amounts of wealth, because they put certain laws into effect, constantly engaging in those laws, getting the results they want, using them to get the tangible results that they want. And unfortunately, righteous people are off babbling about things that have no value or substance, worrying about fear, worrying about end times events, which should have nothing to do with you being worried. It should be blessed hope. It should be you constantly looking for more and more good in your life. Meanwhile, they're panicking. You know, in my neighborhood, there was, in this county, I believe it was, they sent out all these brochures about end times and this is going to happen, that, trying to scare people and put them in fear. And yet you read the scripture, the end times were talking about blessings toward the saints, goodness. Why would you be in fear? And yet that's all these brochures could talk about, was fear. Bad things, scary things, frightening things are going to happen. You better get right with God because you know this fear. You got to be afraid. As if that ever produced good results. Do you want your child to obey you because they're afraid of losing out of some blessing or afraid of being punished? Or do you want them to do it from a pure heart because they want to do the right thing? Like with the parable Jesus gave of the son who said he was going to do what his father asked him to do and didn't do it. The other son who said he wasn't going to do it, but later said, I'm going to do that, and did the right thing. Who's in the right there? The one who said he's going to do it and didn't do it? God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of sound mind. And that comes from knowing Him, not just knowing the universe, not just knowing the laws of the universe. And we should be studying these laws and understanding the law of attraction, understanding all these laws, law of vibration. You just mention vibration and people get mad. That's that New Age stuff. As if that immediately dismisses it from being true. Because you put a label on it that you don't like, that you're afraid of personally, that somehow makes it untrue. Meanwhile, the scripture doesn't mention all kinds of laws of the physical universe that everyone accepts today. And the law of vibration being one of those. It kind of hovers the border of the material world and the metaphysical world, above the physical world. Because the vibration is very physical. There's a physical vibration that can be measured in all things. And yet there's a spiritual vibration that we operate in, and we understand that we have, through human history, labeled all these different emotions, which are labels for different levels of vibration. Whether you're angry or you're happy, you're joyful or you're sad, you're depressed or you're elated. We understand these terms to have certain meanings about somebody's mood, their vibration. And we understand that from studying the universe. But we don't understand that because we think the universe is God. Or worse yet, pray to the universe. I've heard people praying to the universe. So misguided. So unfortunate, because they're missing out of the personal relationship with God that you can have, truly walking with God like Enoch, knowing God on a personal level, and yet they've impersonalized Him and personalized the universe, which is a creation of Him. Now, maybe the universe has, in some respects, a personality. We don't know that. We don't know. It could be very much like our bodies have trillions of cells in them that operate in a sense like a little universe unto our body. Maybe that's the way the universe is. Maybe there is a personality in the universe itself. And then above that is the source of all things, the Creator. But as far as we can tell, as far as we can understand and see and examine in our personal experiences, the universe is neutral. It just has laws. Those laws are enacted. They go into effect regardless of who you are. It's very impersonal. And it's not God, the one who is the Creator, the one who from His personality created other beings with personalities, including animals, because they're called living souls as well. Read Genesis chapter 1 and 2. So my friend, in your desire to manifest more good things in life, don't walk past the best thing you could possibly manifest, which is knowing God. Don't dismiss that for something lesser than in knowing the universe alone, the created thing alone, which will never be better than the experience of knowing God Himself through His Son, Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus came, not that you could be condemned, but that you might have life and that more abundantly. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.